Burn it.
What a time to be alive, man.
So Jada Pinkett Smith, are you recording?
Yeah.
Jada Pinkett Smith admits to an affair with Will Smith.
Mm-hmm.
The Redskins are changing their name amidst scandals. I don't want to talk about any of that. The internet's flooded with that nonsense.
Oh, I'd love to talk about it.
I'd rather not. Let's talk about something good. Something positive. Everybody heard that.
Man, I was like super stoked to talk about my favorite football team.
Okay, so talk about them real quick. Rumors and whatnot, and why the blank blanks aren't going to be called the blank blanks anymore.
Let's talk about the professional football team that resides in Washington,
D.C.
Formerly the Washington Redskins. They're retiring the name. A lot of people ask my opinion because they know. Allegedly what? Allegedly retiring the name? No, they officially came out and said that they will be retiring the name upon completion of their review. So it is official. They will no longer be known as that name. A lot of people have asked my question or my opinion on it. Have asked me questions about my opinion on it because I'm a diehard fan of that football team. Always have been. I was kind of brought into that brainwashing at an early age. I'm a huge NFL fan. I love the game. I love the sport. I like to follow it. I follow the Washington team a lot. I think it's long overdue. As a kid growing up, you don't think about things like this. As I got older and I start hearing the rumblings, I mean, this has been going on for 10, 20 years that people have been protesting the name. All kinds of people. Native American people, politicians, sponsors, the community, citizens. A lot of people have been complaining. A lot of people have been defending it. And that's all good too. Here's the thing.
So is the majority of people complaining or is it the minority of people complaining?
Well, it depends on your source, right? It depends on your poll that you're going to quote, that you're going to Google and find. It's going to depend on what you're looking at. I mean, these are facts. Native American groups from all over the country for many years have been petitioning Congress every single year to change the name. At every single home game at the Washington football team stadium, you have Native Americans there, groups rallying against the name. They're picketing outside of the practice facilities in Ashburn, Virginia for years and years and years. This didn't just happen in the last couple months. With all of the social injustice that's been going on in our country, it has helped. It has helped bring it back into the limelight, if you will. I think it's long overdue. I'm a huge fan of the football team. I'm ready for some change. I think it's time to change. I think it's time to change the name. So I'm pretty excited about it. It's an opportunity to rebrand too. That franchise sucks. They're terrible. They've been terrible for 20 years. Maybe this could invigorate them. So there's that. It's about time, is my opinion.
Who came up with that name?
Which one? Washington Redskins?
Mm-hmm.
The original owner of the team. They were originally the Boston Braves back in the 20s. They relocated to Washington, and they changed the name to the Washington Redskins.
Is it true that a Native American drew that logo?
Yes. A Native American chief, I don't know of the tribe, but yes, they created the logo. That gentleman there. I could look it up. John Preston Marshall, I think, was the original owner of the team, and he was a known, I guess, racist. He was literally forced by the NFL. He was the last owner in the NFL. He was literally forced to integrate African Americans onto his team. Everybody had done it, and he had to be forced. So he was the last one. They actually just took down his statue at RFK Stadium in D.C. They took it down by order of the Redskins organization. They got rid of his name in the hall, in the Ring of Fame at the stadium in Maryland there, and renamed it. So anyway, wild time to be a fan of that football team. So my opinion is, I don't care if it's a small majority of Native Americans. It's like, what are you going to put a percent to it? Okay, when 50% complain and they find it offensive, then we'll change. Like, is there a number? I don't know. I think I think there should be. I don't have a dog in the race, to be honest. I don't care too much what the team is called. Yeah.
It's not my fight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't follow football enough, and certainly not the Redskins enough to have that fight. It's not to say that it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter as much to me. But when we talk about should you do something based on the offense of people, I think it does matter the amount of people, because in one way or another, you're going to ignore the voice of one to do what another voice wants.
Yeah.
So let's say if 75% was for it, I would think it's not right to change it then, because there's 75% that want it. I don't know what the percentages are, but just to the point that you asked.
So you think there is a...
I don't know. I have no idea. As far as I don't know how many people like it or dislike it. I don't know. I've never seen those numbers. That's why I asked you who says they don't like it and who came up with the logo and stuff like that. I think that if there was data to say that, well,
it's
however non-biased you can be, 75% said they're for it.
Let's take that.
Listen to the majority. You should listen to them.
I hear that, but it's a dictionary defined racial slur.
Okay.
It is a group of people, an ethnicity that is portrayed as they're a mascot of a professional team in the United States. It'd be good to
Google that, like to have that on hand. Like, where did the term red skin come from? It's pretty obvious.
It's pretty clear where it came from.
So it's just rude. In polite company, you wouldn't call an Indian person.
Yeah, would you? I asked somebody very close to me recently who's a big fan of the team, and I was like, look, dude. I mean, to me, it's obvious. It's a racially insensitive term. It's a racial slur in the dictionary. It's literally taking a group of people and we're making them a mascot. I just don't think any group of people should be a freaking mascot in 2020, man. So,
well, the Vikings
I don't know.
are next.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. People are going, well, what's next? Oh, the Vikings, right? Yeah.
The Raiders.
Okay, yeah. The Cowboys. You know what the Cowboys did to people? Did you know? And it's like, come on, guys. Too. Come on, guys.
Maybe.
Come on, dude.
No, I hear
the Redskins, dude. Get it the hell out of here.
I said
it
before. I don't have a dog in the fight. I always look at things from the outside. Like, I just say we should not that we're on a slippery slope yet, but maybe we are. Who knows? I don't know anything. But we should never do things out of like fear. It should always be well thought out. It should always be logical. And if the thing is to change it based on there's a lot of people that are hurt by the name or whatever, then change it. Whatever. It's the name of a football team. What does it matter? You're going to yell whatever it's called.
That's what I'm thinking. And a lot of people are saying, let's go to your point of 75% agree that they all come together and say, oh, we don't find it that offensive. 25% do. And, to me, that's too much. That's a quarter of a population. Let's just go with those numbers. I don't know the exact numbers. There's different polls that say a lot of different things.
I guess what I say,
I'm just like, yo, if you're offending people, dude, change the name, man.
Well, someone to my point, to what I'm saying, and I'm not arguing that the name should not be changed. So don't get that wrong. I'm just outside looking in. I think that till the end of time, someone's always going to be offended by a decision. So we do have to, as a people, decide when is it time to take action. And I don't have the answer for that. I don't think either of us has the answer for that. I just wonder if that's a majority-based solution where it's like, all right, 90%, whatever it is, you quantify it. Now we're going to take action because this is it's affecting too many people. I don't know that the best way to do it is if it affects 10% of the population, we should immediately jump into action and change things. I don't know. Again, I don't know what the heck. I don't know the answer to these things. I know that when it comes to social issues, like, with equal rights across the board, regardless of religion, sexual orientation, and stuff like that, it should matter. It should matter if 5% of the population believes in a certain thing, those rights should be protected. So in a certain case, it does matter. But I don't know. I don't know what the answer is when it comes to changing the name of a football team when it becomes who's offended by something.
The thing that are the people that defend the name are always saying, it's meant to honor. We're honoring Native Americans. I'm like, what on earth are you smoking, dude?
Well, maybe they come up with an honorable name, right? Like, what would be an honorable way to refer to the Native Americans?
How about we don't have Native Americans as a mascot as a team? How about that? Why are we even having this discussion, dude? You know what I'm saying?
And the other names are completely made up, though, or they have some kind of historical background, though,
or
right?
They're a freaking bird. There's eagles, there's cardinals, there's ravens, there's, you know what I mean? It's like, you got titans, you got giants, you got cowboys, you got Vikings. Like, come on, dude. It's not real things here, man. But anyway, I don't get the outrage. I mean, what have we ever done to honor Native Americans? We came here and took their freaking land.
I'm trying to think of any other.
Squished them onto a bunch of reservations. We just stripped them of everything. We're gonna honor them though with this Redskin name. Get the hell out of here, man. It's time for it to change.
Would Yankees be wrong? It's a group of people.
So what is a Yankee?
Somebody from up north. It's like a slang.
Is that, if we look it up, would that be a racial slur? Is that a racial slur?
I don't know who would offend. I don't know.
Well, no, I'm not asking if it offends anybody. Well, that's the whole point, though. Is it a defined slur, though?
We're doing it based on offensiveness, really, what we're looking at.
I don't know. I look at the name Redskin and it's defined in the dictionary as a racial slur. I would never call an American Indian a Native American person here.
You're not even supposed to call them an Indian, are you?
I don't know.
I don't know what they're called either.
You
natives.
I would call them Native Americans.
Gangs in New York.
Mm-hmm.
The natives.
I don't know. No, I don't think Yankees is getting changed because I don't think Yankees is a derogatory term. That's my opinion.
We'd have to ask for people in Boston. While you look that up, I don't know. So they're gonna change it anyway, right? That's the bottom line. They're gonna change it.
No,
so
they
it doesn't matter what you think.
And you know what's funny?
At this point, it doesn't matter what you think.
No,
they're changing it.
And you know what's funny? The reason why it's changing has nothing to do with what we're talking about. It has nothing to do with it being insensitive. It has nothing to do with it being a racial a thing, a derogatory term, a slur. It has nothing to do with that. You know why it's being changed? I mean, just read the reports, guys. It's money. Dan Snyder, the owner of the team, is getting hit directly into the pocket. Mm-hmm. Overnight, Nike said, well, Nike's got their own issues. They got sweatshops all over the freaking world. But anyway, Nike said, we're not selling any more of your team's apparel. Walmart, Target, Dick's Sporting Goods, they all come out. We're not selling Redskins gear anymore. FedEx, one of the minority owners of the team, CEO of FedEx comes out and says, you're changing the name or we're pulling out. We're out of here. The minority owners are selling. They want to sell their stakes in the team. So Dan took a huge hit in the old pocket. And that's what forced them. The money forced them, which sucks, right? It's like, dude, you're not even doing it, at least in my opinion, for the right reasons. you're doing it because you're going to lose money, man.
Yeah, for me,
it's wild.
Again, and I'm not saying that
wild.
My level of attention to that particular issue doesn't mean that it's not important to somebody else. Mm-hmm. But I hear those things and I wonder, okay, that all those things are well and good. When are we going to make sure flat out that putting your knee on somebody's neck when they're in handcuffs should be flat out illegal and should be immediately criminally processed? Yeah. When are we going to make sure that chokeholds are treated the same way, that as soon as you do a chokehold on a person, you're immediately tried for a crime? Because all these things are well and good, but I get in my tinfoil conspiracy theory stuff and I'm like, we were focusing on something and now the media is focusing on football. Not that football is not important, but that was not the key issue.
Football's not important. Well, it's not important. It's an entertainment thing. It's an entertainment thing.
Entertainment is important, but it's not a life or death situation.
Of course not.
It's still important. Not everything is life or death.
Yeah.
But I feel like we talked about it before. We lose focus, and I wonder, like, who are the people that benefit from the focus being shifted? And it's very clear the focus has been shifted. We're not talking about that so much now. Now the focus is this, and we go through these little seasons where, like, for 2 weeks we're gonna move this to the side and we're gonna talk about this, and for 2 weeks we forget about that. Like, we're getting bombarded with, like, every day there's a new crisis, and we get jaded, and it's just like the public has this super thick skin where it's like, I don't care about anything then.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't believe in this made up virus. I don't believe I have to wear a mask. I don't believe the name is racist. I don't believe we have a police brutality issue. I don't believe we have a military police issue. All of this stuff is just to destroy our president, because you get all this bombarded stuff at you.
And it's been real rough this year.
And if you think about it, Matt, if you're gonna sit there, not you, but the general person, if you're gonna sit there and give your heart to every single one of these issues, dude, it's incredibly draining. It's hard. You're gonna drive yourself nuts.
And a lot of people will look at you and say, you know, there's a crazy world out there. And you know what I say a lot of times? I was like, man, I try not to follow. I try not to follow it too much, man, because it really is. It seems worse than ever. It seems that way, right?
There's a lot of stuff. The kids are going back to school, and we have no idea whether they're going to be safe or not.
Yo, we were talking about that before the show started. I mean,
you just don't know.
This is a huge freaking dilemma right now with parents in this country. Young kids, like this is unprecedented, dude. What we're about to have to do here in 2 months.
But you know what we have to do as parents is hold our school board and city council accountable for some action and some answers. Because we can wait for the president all day, but we need answers from the people here in this area.
We need to start.
What are you going to do to make sure?
Yeah, I want to know what our
beach,
our local governments, what's
kids
going
are
on,
be as absolutely safe as possible.
Dude, the superintendent, Aaron Spence, man, what are we doing?
What are we doing? Because
what are we doing? We had a survey. Clear. We got a survey. Great, as parents, we filled out the survey. Okay, now what?
School starts in what, a month and a half?
Dude, we're halfway through July and we got no fucking answers, dude. Excuse my language, but I mean,
it's frustrating.
It's very frustrating. I mean, I got a 6-year-old son. You have 3 beautiful children.
They're going to be exposed to all this.
And now we have to make this choice in September.
You still have to work. You've got working class parents that have to work. Childcare is incredibly expensive. On top of that, though, childcare is going to have to work at a different capacity level. They're not going to be at 100%.
Well, the ones that follow the rules.
Too many. But are they really going to follow the rules? Like, you worked in that area. You worked in different places.
Of course.
They don't always follow the rules. And like I had mentioned earlier before we got on here, they're not always to the ratio they're supposed to be. Yeah. You aim for that, and you absolutely try your best, but that's not always the case. It doesn't always happen that way.
The accredited care centers will keep their ratios correct to the state level. They will do that.
Here's a cold reality. It doesn't happen 100% of the time.
Sure.
And the bigger issue is when we're talking about, and here's a majority conversation here in the area, surely to our income levels.
Sure.
It is what it is, man. Our kids are not going to the absolute best private schools in the area. They're not. We can't afford it. Right now for Hector, we were paying, it was like a local spot, kind of, small. It was good. It wasn't the absolute best. I'm not saying that to disrespect them. I'm saying it more as a critique of my own economic situation. Mm-hmm. Wasn't the absolute best. It wasn't the absolute worst. It was I wouldn't have put my kid in there if I thought it was bad by any stretch.
Sure.
The point being, though, is if I wanted him to go to one of these academies or something like that, it would have been more than my mortgage. It would have been.
Oh, no, it is. It will be.
Same thing for the newborn baby. It's going to be more than my mortgage.
Do people realize, maybe people without children, the cost of childcare in this country is a freaking problem. It's a freaking problem, dude. Especially, and I'm not talking about middle-class people. I'm talking about the working class. This is our class. We're the working class, dude. Mm-hmm. And you got a lot of working class families in this country that are dual income families, dual income earners. And what the hell are we going to do? What are people going to do, man? Let's say they're talking about rumblings of maybe just 2 days of instruction of on-campus schooling.
Yeah, so what do you do with your kid those other 3 days?
You got 3 days. Now you're going to put them in daycare. Now you're paying $1,000 a month.
And the daycare. See, what we were playing with Hank, I want to say was like $500 a month or something like that. And that was, if you live out here, that's dirt cheap. Maybe in the whole nation, that's dirt cheap. $500 a month, even $600 a month. I don't remember exactly what it was.
It depends on the age limit too, like the age of your kid and the quality of the center.
But still, $500-$600 a month is cheap on the scale of things. It's expensive in the grand scope of life or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's crazy because you're gonna have to, for 3 days, you put them in that center. They're not gonna give them the teaching that you would. These daycare centers, they do the best they can. Sure, they got great people there.
Sure,
they do their ABCs. Some of them teach them sign language. They do what they can, right? But they're not teachers in the sense of teachers. Like, that's not their profession.
Yeah.
I don't want to disrespect them. They're babysitters, but that's, to put it in lame terms, like it's a babysitter, right? You're not a teacher. You didn't go to school to be a teacher. You're not there as a 4-year graduate.
Well, I will say this. Because I was in early childhood for a couple years. I have an associate's degree. I knew a lot of my coworkers who were lead teachers at least the center that I worked at were required to have a degree.
Right.
A teaching degree.
But again, that's not going to be the case for the vast majority of people.
Of course.
In these situations where it's saying, like, what do I do now?
It is not going to be replacing school.
That's my point. It's not going to replace it. There's a lot of great people there that do what they can. And you'd be surprised how far they get your kids. Like, Hector came home speaking sign language. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. That's great. But you're not going to get the level of social studies, math, science, all those things that the school is equipped to teach. And that's going to hurt the kids real bad. So you're left with an option like, if you got dual income families, who's going to watch those kids for the 3 days? If they're going to a daycare, you're not going to get the same level of education, and what does that do for him developmentally?
And then let's talk about the other elephant in the room, this freaking virus. And then you've got parents, and I'll admit it, dude. I'm scared to death to send Victor to school. I am. A lot of people were like, dude, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that serious. The numbers are very low for kids that age. I don't give a shit how low the numbers are, dude. That's my one. That's my 6-year-old boy, dude.
The numbers are low for what? The numbers are low for them dying, right?
Right.
That it's not low for them necessarily carrying it. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Like
they go to school, they get it, and then they bring it to you, and you die.
That's what I'm saying. It's like this problem runs so deep.
Let's say it was 100%. They never die from this virus. They still catch it though, and they still take it to you. You take it to your mom. You take it to your grandfather. You go to Walmart and you take it to somebody else's grandfather. I don't know the answer, but the people that have the answer seem to be pretty quiet right now.
Yeah, real quiet, at least in our area. Like, yeah, when are we gonna know?
And maybe
what is the process here? Like, what are we doing in September? Because I don't know.
They're leaning towards 2 days of instruction and 3 days out.
That's gonna flip a lot of people's lives upside down, dude.
So, a lot of people are gonna have to go to their jobs and say, "I gotta work 2 days a week." How do you even do that? How do you survive on 2 days a week?
My goodness.
Like, what's the point of that at that point? Like, just give up. Just stay home. Not give up. That's not the right word. I'm saying just leave your job and just focus on your kid.
Yeah. A lot of decisions coming, man. So it's a crazy time in this country, dude. It's a crazy time. I mean, it's just like, the memes. It's like, what's next in 2020? What's coming in August, man? My goodness.
Oh, knock on wood. The only thing that's next is a full-on war with somebody.
No
so
joke.
We declare war on China, and then in the mix of all of this, we're going to war. Like, you send boys out there to die in the ocean.
Who knows what's coming next, man? But it's wild. But anyway, thanks for letting me talk about my favorite football team. What a bunch of jokers up there in D.C. And we didn't even talk about the allegations that are coming out on this team that has nothing to do with the name change.
Everybody's got some sexual allegation.
Dude.
Everyone. We haven't figured out if Epstein killed himself. His girlfriend is claiming to flip the lid on everyone that has video. She said she has video of politicians.
A friend of hers claims that she told the friend, "Hey, I've got videos of all these politicians."
She's going to kill herself before she gets that information out.
We shall see.
But there's good things going on in the world, I suppose.
Let's name a few.
Life is good.
Let's name a few good things that are happening.
Your wife started a new job.
She did. She started a new path in her life. Very excited for Bree. Very exciting times, man.
It's good. She gets some little bit of flexibility and stability in terms of the schedule.
Mm-hmm. You know what?
She used to have to work some wild shifts, and that's not going to be an issue no more.
No, it's going to be a big change in our life. But let me tell you this. So my dad is visiting. He just left today. He was visiting from California, stayed with us for a few nights. He had some business to take care of over here with my grandmother's estate.
Yep.
Rest in peace. And so he was here hanging out, and me and him differ on a lot of things, politically, socially, on a lot of issues. But you know what was really cool?
He's left or right? He's left, right?
He's way right.
Is he?
He's right.
Okay.
Oh, big time.
Because he made a joke when he got in. I don't know if it was a joke in favor of or against something. So.
Yeah. Well,
it doesn't matter.
I don't want to speak for him. I don't know if he would consider. He is conservative. He is a conservative.
That's fine.
Of course, it's fine. So anyway, we had a really, really great discussion in my kitchen. We were eating and just having a few alcoholic beverages, and we just sat there and talked with each other for a couple hours about politics. And you know what was really cool? I was telling him things that he had never thought of before. And he was telling me things that I had never thought of before in terms of on some of the big issues, you know what I mean? We started with obviously the racial tensions in this country and maybe some solutions and what could be done. And I was telling him some things that he had never thought of and vice versa. And it was just a really great conversation. We didn't get mad at each other. I just think it was just a really cool lesson. It was just like, man, you really got to just look across the aisle and instead of just keeping your blinders on and just because we get into this vacuum, dude, especially on the internet, dude, on social media. People, all you do is watch CNN. All you do is follow liberal friends. All you do is all your left people and anybody that disagrees with you, you go ahead and just unfollow. Okay, block. You're out. And you get in this tunnel. And same thing with people on the right. You know what I mean? These crazy libs, man. You know what I mean? They just block everybody out.
You're either a racist or a bigot.
Yeah, and instead of that, how about you just listen? Because usually, I mean, how's it go? The old adage. It's usually the truth is somewhere in the middle. Usually the solution is somewhere in the middle. And I think there are good people on both sides. And I think the conversation I had with my dad, it was just really great to hear from somebody who I disagree with on a lot of things, hear their side of what they've experienced in their life and maybe some things that they think would help. And, you know, it was very eye-opening and it was very cool. And I just wish we can have a little bit more open conversations in this country with people that we don't agree with. You know, instead of, don't talk about it. Oh, no, we don't talk about politics. Because people get so emotional. It's like, well, why don't we just calm down a little bit and let's just talk to each other and just hear the other side. Just hear what they're trying to tell you. You may still not agree with them, but maybe just try to hear their reasoning. Just try to use some you always talk about it, critical thinking skills. How about we just try to critically think about some things and try to put yourself in some different shoes? Your experience does not define my experience. Your parents' generations and their experience and does not define what's going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's crazy to think, but a lot of things may not happen to me that happen to other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like, man.
That's the thing we mentioned before. I don't know if we were on camera when we said it, but I'm like, people forget how big the United States is.
It's like huge.
Several countries. I mean, if you're from New York, you're not going to have the same issues that you have in California. You're just not. And, you know, for somebody to say, you know, well, you know, racial issues don't exist, police brutality doesn't exist, it might not exist.
I've never gotten beaten by a cop. A cop has never drawn his gun on me. I hear that all the time. I'm like, dude, that's
that you
great.
Travel and you live your life. The world is much bigger than that, man, and it doesn't discount the experience of other people that might be going through that every single day. So
yeah,
it's hard. It depends. You know, it's funny. Depending on the mood I wake up in, it's like the talking sometimes is just like, for what? We know the issues. We know it.
Yeah.
If you say you don't, you're pretending.
Yeah.
We know the issues. There's nothing to be discussed about, you know, the overarching issue that's been going on since 2020. As far as the attention that it's gotten, it's just, you should not be putting your knee on somebody that's in handcuffs. That's not a discussion. We don't have to, like I told you when I heard somebody suggest that we should go door to door asking the African American community what we can do to better, you know, live together. And I'm like,
are you
kind of
serious?
don't understand how disrespectful that sounds. Like, I get that you might have some good intentions,
like, bro,
but it shows that you're willfully deaf.
Yeah, like you are just putting your head in the sand,
like,
man. Like,
if the simple thing is, hey, we just don't want to be murdered when we're in handcuffs, and then you say, let's start a dialogue and find out what your real issues are. You're kind of implying that their voice doesn't matter at all.
Yeah, and then maybe that's not the real issue.
Like, we're gonna divert and talk about something else because we're gonna keep putting our knee on your heads, on your necks. So, yes, depending on the mood I get in, yes, talking is important. Today I say talking don't matter, but it's important. I don't know why I'm in a little mood today, but
Pepsi paid me last, so it tastes better.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. It's,
today we saying Spanish when you're a little crispy. Just, I don't know why.
You know, you
woke up a little.
We were talking about something the other day, and you really impressed me. It was like
impressive
because I'm again. We're going back. Shut up, Tony. Going back to the NFL. So, and before every game this season, they're going to play two different anthems. Two different national anthems.
Say the Black National Anthem.
The Black National Anthem, they call it. And I came to the table talking to you, and I was like, man, that just seems like that's just another thing to like kind of separate us and divide us. And you said, well, if you think of it this way, maybe that's getting people to learn about each other.
Yeah, we should learn each other's songs.
We should learn each other. You said maybe we should learn each other's songs. So it's all about how you think about things. And I just remember listening to you say that, and I was like, man, I had never thought of it that way before. Well, I think it's just you have this negative, and I'm just like, dude, that's just dividing us. What are we doing? I'm not saying don't do it. I was just saying it's just we're always just trying to be separated into all these little things instead of just being one human race. But, you know, you made a really great point. Maybe we need to learn each other's songs. We need to learn each other's cultures. We need to think critically about other people's experiences in this country.
Well, because I think there's in speech, there's a lot of manipulation and stuff like that. But I feel like music, the art form of music, is like one of the purest forms of communication. It comes from your heart. So if you understand why, you know, 50 Cent is talking about shooting people and killing people and going through what he went through, you know, you open that conversation. Why are you rapping about that? Let me understand where that comes from. Don't dismiss it as, you know, the thug garbage music or whatever. If you don't like it because you don't like it, that's fine. But educate yourself on why people sing the way they sing, country songs, whatever it is, metal songs. Where does that come from? Why is that song so violent? Why is that song so happy?
You're mad at your dad, not me.
People, you're mad at your father, not me.
You're mad at your father.
People express their love, their passion, everything through music. So to discount music, and you get it as a musician, you would get it in the video field. If somebody's like, your little videos or whatever, I want to see James Cameron's movie. I don't care about what little. You kind of get hurt by that because it's passion in your art.
Yeah.
So when people dismiss someone's art, it's like, I don't want to hear that garbage. It's like, ask the question, learn the song, figure out the history behind it. There's a history behind every song. I think there is, unless it's just microwave garbage. But most great songs with a story and stuff to it, there's a real life story behind it. It ain't just a song over a beat. And you might get somewhere a conversation, just a regular conversation won't take you. You see, there's a couple songs. If you haven't heard it, go Google, go YouTube, Strange Fruit. Go YouTube, Dead Presidents, their album. There's a lot of songs full of pain that I think if people listen to the actual words, they might come to a table with a little more open-mindedness Instead of just, oh, your situation is the same as mine. It's not. Have you heard my music? Have you heard what I went through?
I think you nailed it, dude. Just coming to the table. Come to the table with an open mind and just come to the table, dude. We joke about that. Welcome to the table. Like, people are just now starting to get woken up, and it's just like, welcome. Come on in.
I'm glad you finally woke up.
Yeah, the house. We're on fire. Come on in.
We've been sitting here for the longest. Like, I'm glad.
We're burning. Come on in.
It's in the Inquirer. Like,
yeah, dude.
Whoa. Did you see this?
Did you see?
It's in the main issue.
Oh my goodness.
It's in the Wall Street Journal now, baby. Like,
I'll tell you what. For next week, we'll get a bunch of good stuff that's happening in the country. We'll do the whole John Krasinski thing. We'll do the John Krasinski thing.
Yeah, I wanted to start there, but I guess you were in.
No, I wanted to get. Yeah.
I was gonna ask you. You're gonna if you dedicate a song to your wife, what would it be?
If I were to dedicate a song, a song that's already been written, right?
Yeah, not that you're gonna write one right now. Like, go hum the first 4 bars. Well,
one of our favorite songs together is I'm gonna get made fun of for this. "Lay It All on Me" by Ed Sheeran. I know a lot of my people on Facebook are saying, "Ed Sheeran sucks, bro."
He's all right.
All right.
I heard his music.
Yeah, no, it's just a song. It's just like, look, man, no matter what you've been through, no matter what you're doing, lay it on me. Like, I'm there for you. That's what this is all about. You know what I mean? Lay it all on me. I'll take it. So you don't have to. You know what I mean? So we listen to that song every once in a while, and that's kind of our song. You know? So yeah. Teamwork, baby.
Positive.
Yeah, there you go. How about you, Tony?
Roberta Flack, "The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face."
Ah, yeah, baby. Man, I wish we could play these songs on the podcast without getting flagged.
Google it.
Yeah, man.
YouTube it. It's good music.
Good
Love
deal,
music
man.
Is great, man.
Yeah. Hey, I'm telling you, the wife episode is going to come one day.
Okay.
I think it could be a lot of fun.
It can be, I guess.
If that's what you want to call it.
That's what you want to call it.
That's very cool. I'm going to go listen to some Roberta Flack, dude. Good show, buddy. Sorry I was so depressing.
It's all right.
Stay positive out there, people. We love you, man. I'm Matt.
It's Tony.
And this is the Tsunami Podcast, dude. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Remember, Sling Blade?
Some French fried potatoes. You got a good boy. He's a good boy. Oh, man.